Hello, and I thought today I'd do, as I haven't done a video for a while, I'd do a quick video. I say quick, just an off the cuff, just me rambling video about the latest Doctor Who kind of marketing thing, as well as giving my thoughts on a lot of the recent news. So, since last time I talked about Doctor Who, which would have been my Legend of the Sea Devils review, I think that was Easter. Yikes, time's flown. We've had the announcement of the next Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. We've had the announcement that David Tennant and Catherine Tate are returning, and that Yasmin Finney and Neil Patrick Harris are starring in the 60th. Now, whether this could be a single special for the 60th or multiple, we don't know yet. Rumour has this multiple, but we haven't had it confirmed. So, yeah. So, going back to when all this began, how it first started was a cryptic post on Ncuti Gatwa's social media of two hearts plus a blue square. Now, I missed this announcement as I was out and about, as is the case with most of these announcements I've managed to miss. But so that was posted on his social media. And I think it was also shared by Rusty Davies and the BBC Doctor accounts. He was then announced as the next Doctor on the red carpet of the BAFTAs. I think it was on BBC News. Now that was, I thought, a pretty cool way of introducing the next Doctor, as it was perfect time. It's like all the stars on the BAFTAs. It's the big television awards, film awards in the UK, I think. But yeah, so there was that. Then a week later, in fact, the very next week, around the same time, there was a picture again, and I can't remember who wasn't shared this. It may have been Rusty Davies, but I did check social media just now and I couldn't see anything on his Instagram except for the post that follows it, which so it may have just been the Doctor Who account, but it was two hearts plus a tilted blue square, which I think was meant to represent a diamond. Now, diamond represents 60, as in Diamond Jubilee, which was the Queen's Jubilee in 2012. We just had the Platinum Jubilee a couple of weeks ago. So the fact that it was a tilted square, meaning it looked more like a diamond. So we then got about an hour and a half later the announcement that not only was David Tennant returning, playing what hasn't been confirmed as a new Doctor, but hasn't been confirmed as the 10th Doctor either. So who knows at this point. But it's also been the announcement of Catherine Tate returning alongside him. And Rusty Davies put a cryptic message saying, but how can this be? Because Donna had her memory wiped back in Stolen Earth Journey's End. And although she appeared in End of Time Part 1 and 2, which I haven't seen yet, I will see. I bought it recently. But is it a trick? Is it a flash forward, a flashback to their time? Who knows? We'll wait and see. But that started to lead into a bit of a pattern. The very next day, a picture on an actress called Yasmin Finney, who has just had her first, I think it's her first major role, it may have been her first role ever, in Netflix Heartstopper, which is quite good. I watched it. I was watching it when this was announced. But I think she put a picture of a rose plus a diamond, which didn't quite fit in line with the other two announcements with the two hearts. But it was announced she was then playing a character called Rose, so the flower made sense. And the diamond we have kind of gathered is going to be something to do with the 60th. So we reckon that, and rumours spread around her quite a lot, that she's playing Donna's daughter. She's playing an alternate version of Rose Tyler, which I don't believe. I think it's more likely that she'll be Donna's daughter, as going back to about October last year, there were rumours that, or announcements, things were auditions being held for an actress being about her age playing a character's daughter. Now, we didn't know at the time, and since David Tennant and Catherine Tate have been announced, there have been many, many pics of on set. I will not spoil some of the other returning characters that have shown up in these set pics, because until they're officially announced, I don't feel like it's right to basically say what hasn't been official public released information. But if you look at the set pics and any discussion, certain characters are returning. This is my official spoiler announcement thing. I was expecting spoiler warnings at the beginning. Sorry. But then there was also Rachel Talalay, who is an American director who directed all of Capaldi's finales. So she did the Series 8 finale, Dark Water, Death in Heaven, Heaven Sent and Hellbent, Well Enough in Time in the Doctor Falls, and Twice Upon a Time. And around the time that the David Tennant announcement was, she posted a couple of pictures of her with Matt Lucas, which people then heavily speculated she was involved in the 60th, because Matt Lucas, if you don't know who he is, he's an English actor, probably best known originally for being in Little Britain. He also was in Doctor Who from mainly in Series 10, but he was in a couple of specials before that. And he's the current host of the Great British Bake Off. So, yeah. But then she's been pretty much confirmed as directing at least an episode. Because she received clapperboard designs that they've had on set. But she put a post of, and I will say it was 2 hearts plus diamond plus the director's clapperboard things. So again, it falls in line with the current marketing style of something plus something. So it's very much formed a pattern. And I wasn't going to originally talk about this until on Monday, just gone, there was an announcement again, around the same time in the evening as the rest of them, which was another, I think it was 2 hearts plus a diamond emoji, not like tilted blue square, but like a diamond, which heralded the announcement of Neil Patrick Harris, who is an American actor. I think he's best known for being Count Olaf in Netflix's series of Unfortunate Events, but he was also in How I Met Your Mother, amongst many things. I'm not particularly familiar with his work, but he has worked with Rusty Davies before on It's a Sin, and it was announced that he was playing a major villain, like the greatest threat the Doctor's ever faced. We'll see how that turns out, because greatest threat the Doctor's ever faced could be many things, and he's encountered, or she, it, they, I'll go with they, because Jodie Whittaker, and yeah, they have encountered many, many threats across the years. Some claim to be the greatest, and weren't. Some are. I mean, I wouldn't call the Pating the greatest threat in the universe, but it was marketed as that, so who knows? Now, I will not get into the rumour of who he's playing, but he's playing a major villain. Again, if you look all over social media, there are many, many theories. In fact, and the prevalent one I think is most likely because of set pictures we've seen of them filming in Bristol. We think there's also specials because we've seen pictures of David Tennant and Catherine Tate with other villainous things, but I'm not going to get into that because, again, spoilers, and I don't feel I'm knowledgeable enough on the subject with the extended universe. So, yeah. Now, the rumour mill has been spiralling, and there has been a sort of, I don't really know how to describe it. There's been a lot of officially unofficial leaks. Well, I say that. They were leaks, kind of, on social media from Reddit accounts that, now I don't have Reddit, and I've only seen some of this secondhand and heard from it from others. So take my word with a pinch of salt. But there's, again, since a lot of the stuff, probably since series 13 and that, I've seen heavy rumours on Reddit and screenshots or rumours from Reddit and that. And quite a lot of the stuff that's been rumoured by certain accounts has happened. And also there are Twitter accounts. Now I don't have Twitter, so I've seen a lot of this secondhand of like things like TV Zone saying, oh, announcement at usually midnight. And that was with Series 13, and they were putting a lot of set pics. Well, I say a lot, just a couple, but yeah. So there's been a lot of rumours and that, and so announcements like these, and Rusty Davies said at Shooting Atwood's announcement that really they are keeping as much secret as possible, as it's only fair to Jodie, as her last story isn't till the autumn, which I reckon is going to be around October 23rd-ish, maybe the week before, because it's a centenary special and it's around the centenary. However, there has been all these announcements since, and in the case of a lot of them, it's been mainly because there is no option. They have been filming out in location. I think they filmed some scenes in Camden, they filmed in Bristol, filmed bits in Wales, but because anyone with a smartphone and that can go up there and take pictures, and they are all over, mainly Twitter, but I've seen them on Instagram and all sorts of other social media. So it's very hard in this day and age to keep things under wraps. And so they've waited until the last moment to announce things. Like the day after David Tennant was announced, they were filming on location and social media was flooded with pictures. And I think the only one they probably could have got away with not announcing was Yasmin Finney, mainly because unless you've seen Heartstopper and you really know her, I think she's a trans activist, a black trans activist. So yeah, she's quite a big name for Doctor Who to have got on the back of this Netflix show. But I feel like that was mainly done because of the attention on it, so they kind of wanted to capitalise and get some popularity in. Now, I want to speak a bit about how they've done the announcements and the use of the emoji things, because I think that's a really kind of cool way of doing these announcements. And I don't think it'll work forever. I don't think it'll work long term. But for the build up for the 60th of the new era, I think it's working really well. And it works quite well with the very much young kind of social media era that I think they're trying to get into the show, as in they've cast Ncuti Gatwa, who is, I don't know if he's still doing, but he was in Sex Education, which is a very popular Netflix comedy show, which a lot of people watch. And again, with Yasmin Finney and Heartstopper, again, it's trying to get some of the youth back involved in Doctor Who, as they're both quite young compared to like some of the other Doctors we've had, like Capaldi, for an example. But I think they're also leaning a little bit in nostalgia with having Tennant and Tate back for the 60th. But I think the way they've done these announcements has been really cool. They've dropped information out of the blue about hour and a half before and just let it build, and it does. It builds so much excitement. And then I think how they're doing it is also really respectful to Jodie, because yes, I can see where some people are frustrated that it feels like Jodie's last episode has been heavily overshadowed, but that's not really much they can do because they are filming on location, and we don't know when the first of these episodes are going to air. I'm assuming there's multiple because we've seen different monsters, baddies, and so if they're going to air at several points across 2023, then they can't really film too close to it because they need to edit it and all these bits. I'm not majorly knowledgeable in film production, so I may be completely wrong there, but yeah. So also it also does factor in that Chibnall's marketing has been not particularly good, to put it mildly. I could use a lot stronger words, but I very much try and keep this PG, if not very family friendly, because I know I don't have a load of audience, but I want to make this as friendly to watch as possible. So yeah, I think that the way they're using emojis and that, and we've worked out that 2 hearts, I think generally refers to as more the Doctor, the square meant the new Doctor, the diamond meant 60th. I think this is really interesting, and I hope that for the time being, if they've got any major announcements, major casting that they can't keep secret, I mean, I want them to keep bits secret. I don't want to know, for example, who the villains are. I don't want to know. I mean, the fact that I've already seen a lot of spoilers, and I'm pretty sure quite a lot of them at this point are correct, because there's so much evidence, which, as I said before, not getting into here. But I want there to be that degree of uncertainty until we get there. So yeah, I think that Rusty Davies has really found a really clever way of marketing that's causing an awful lot of buzz, and good on him. And I really can't wait to see his new era. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave that today. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, the YouTubey bits, ring the bell. I don't know. But yeah, until next time, which shouldn't be long, as I've got a couple of videos planned for the next few weeks. Until then, Allons-y.